guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my essentials for my light, natural makeup days. You know those days when you want to put in as little effort and as little time as possible, but you still just want to look like a little bit put together, a little bit polished, but then at the same time, like you're not actually wearing makeup? Those days are exactly what I use these products for. So if that sounds like something you're into, something you're looking for, then you have definitely come to the right place. And I've been having more and more and more of those days recently, especially over the winter. My skin has improved a lot, so naturally I'm kind of gravitating towards lighter makeup and less coverage. And also I did adopt a dog back in October, so a very significant part of my everyday life is just being outside, walking my dog, or going to the dog park, which is not something that really requires a full glam. So this style of makeup has definitely been very big for me throughout fall and winter. But before we get into it, all of the products in today's video will be linked down below as always, but let's get started. So the first products I want to talk about are tinted primers. I think tinted primers are so underrated, and they're something I've been a fan of for a very long time. And the reason I think that I gravitate towards a tinted primer rather than just like a tinted moisturizer is tinted primers tend to do more in one step. You know, like primers are kind of meant to perfect the skin, smooth pores, everything like that, but then you get that added extra bonus of evening out your skin tone a little bit with the tint. And tinted moisturizers can just be like a little bit too sheer and a little bit too greasy, since I am slightly on the oilier side. So the first product I have to talk about is the Color Science All Calm Clinical Redness Corrector with SPF 50. I talked about this in a video in December. So this is a redness treatment, a primer, color corrector, and sunscreen kind of all in one. It has a slight green undertone to it, but it's subtle enough that you can wear it on its own and it's not going to make you look sickly or actually make your face look green. I just focus this on the areas where I do get the most red, so like right here in my cheeks and on my nose as well. I just do the tiniest little dab and blend it out, and that green tone obviously does cancel out a little bit of redness, but then actually after you've had it on for a few minutes, it tones down your redness even more. Like it actually works as a skincare product to like soothe and calm the redness. If I only have time to reach for one product, it's typically a tinted primer like this. And it's really funny because I was actually out with my mom. I was like towards the end of January, and she like took a random photo of me, and the picture was like horribly unflattering. I was like looking down at my phone laughing, but like all I had on was this as my foundation, and my skin looked so flawless. Like it looked so incredibly smooth and perfect. I was so shocked at how good this looked just on its own. The one thing with this is that it is really pricey. I will warn you guys, the tiniest little bit does go a very long way. Like I'm probably never going to get through this because I use like literally the tiniest bit. Unfortunately a very pricey one. You do have to keep in mind though, it's like 4 products rolled into one. And next is the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer. This is another tinted primer, and I just talked about this in a video, but it is like a mousse. Like it's a very airy, whipped kind of texture. It does have that little bit of a tint. It's definitely a more subtle tint compared to the Color Science one. It doesn't even out your skin quite as much, but I love the cooling effect of this. I know it's going to be a lifesaver when it actually finally warms up here, and it just does give like a nice pore perfecting, smoothing kind of appearance, and it does control oil as well. The next item I have to talk about is another color correcting product. Now for years, I kind of thought color correcting was pointless. Don't get me wrong, I know all about color theory, I know why it works and everything like that, but I just felt like I didn't need it, and that was because I was wearing such heavy full coverage foundations all the time. But as I've started gravitating towards more medium and light coverage foundations, I'm like, okay, color correcting definitely has its place, and it's definitely very handy, and I totally see the importance of it now. So the next product is the Maybelline Master Camo Color Correcting Pen. My personal favorite is the yellow, and I use this on any blemishes or acne scarring that I might have at the time to cancel out the red or pink pigmentation. Now I know green is typically used for red tones in the skin, and I've talked about this before once again, but because I do have more of a fair to light complexion, I find green can be a little bit unflattering. It has to be like the perfect tone of green, or else you do end up looking kind of like queasy and sickly. So I found yellow tones actually work a lot better to neutralize that redness in my skin, and green tones I find tend to work a little bit better if you have more of a medium skin tone but still redness. I really like this entire range of color correctors. I feel like they've just got the tones down perfectly, and the consistency is really nice. It sets very well, and it really doesn't budge, especially in times when I don't want to wear a lot of makeup but I have like a very angry looking pimple. This has really come in handy. Next is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, another product that I just talked about in a video, so I'm gonna repeat myself a little bit, but I love how versatile this product is. It's all I've been wearing as my like base or foundation for the past couple months, and I've really just fallen in love with it. Like I've liked it for a while, but I am madly in love with this product now. You can just do like a little bit, like take like half a pump with a beauty blender and apply it really thinly over the skin for a very natural look, or you can definitely build it up. Like today I'm wearing it with a good dose of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer under my eyes, and it looks like I'm wearing a full coverage foundation. And of course the SPF in this is crucial. I've also become a very big fan of the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. Now this product is very thin and very sheer. It's really not going to cover anything, but it just lightly evens out your skin. It's very your skin but better. If you're looking for something that's really going to like conceal imperfections and things like that, you're probably not going to be a fan of this. And honestly, I thought I wasn't going to like it either, but I actually really do enjoy it for how natural it looks. In case you missed it, I did do a video back in the fall testing out all of Glossier's makeup products at the time, if you do want to see this in action. But yeah, I just paired this with a little bit of concealer, and it really doesn't look like I'm wearing any makeup at all, which does lead me to my next point, which is my favorite concealer. That is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. As you guys know, I actually ran out of it a little while ago, and I just finally tossed the tube of it because I'm picking up a new one at Sephora this weekend. This concealer just blends into the skin so well, and you honestly cannot tell that you're wearing concealer. A lot of the times I will just wear this concealer and dab it onto my breakouts or red hyperpigmentation, and it makes my skin just instantly look so much more flawless. The word I always use to describe this concealer is undetectable. It also is hydrating, so it's great for any little like flaky breakouts and things like that that are maybe just in the healing stages. And it's beautiful under the eyes too. It's got a nice naturally radiant finish without being greasy or oily or sliding around. It's just a beautiful concealer, and I can't wait to get more of it. I've been missing it so much. By the way, the reason I'm doing this video sitting down and talking about all these products instead of just like a natural makeup routine is because I don't tend to use all of these products at once. I tend to kind of pick and choose just depending on what I feel I'm needing that day or what I'm actually wanting to do for my makeup that day. My natural minimal makeup routine does vary quite a bit, but if you do want to see more of like a routine video and actually see some of these products in action, just let me know and give this video a thumbs up. Next, I want to talk about the Glossier Cloud Paints. These have seriously stolen my heart. They are a liquid blush, but I don't know what it is about them. They just have the best formula. I love them so much. And these two are my favorite shades. I've got Puff and Dusk, but I do own all four of them. Puff is just kind of your classic everyday bubblegum pink. I do have it on today, but I did set it with a little bit of powder blush. And then Dusk is more of like a nudie beige. This one is actually really nice mixed with any of the other shades to kind of tone them down and make them a little bit more neutral. I've had other cream and liquid blushes in the past that I really liked, but there has never really been any that I've like really gotten into and wanted to wear them on a daily basis like I have with these ones. Like if you check the description box of any of my recent videos, this is pretty much all I've been wearing for blush. Once again, sometimes I do set it with a little bit of powder blush, but I pretty much always use these as a base. Moving into highlight, I do also really like the Glossier Halo Scope. In my video testing out Glossier, I was really unsure about these, but it was mostly because I got the shade Topaz, which is like a gold. It's not really suited for my skin tone. So since then I have bought Quartz and also I think it's Moonstone, the lightest shade. Quartz is definitely my favorite though. It's got a slightly more pinky beige kind of tint, and it's got like the kind of oil in the center there. It's a really hydrating formula. I actually really like this product when I'm not wearing any other makeup, no foundation. I just kind of twist this up and then I work a little bit of it onto the flat edge of my sponge and just kind of dab it onto the high points of my face. It looks so natural. Like you really cannot tell you're wearing a highlight at all. It just looks like you're naturally glowing from within. They're really beautiful. And for a powder highlight, I am a huge fan of the Essence Pure Nude Highlight. I'm sure all of you guys have seen this. It's a favorite from a lot of people as far as drugstore highlights go, and it's just a beautiful satiny kind of sheen. It's got kind of more of a beige tone to it once again. No shimmer, no glitter, so it does look very natural on the skin. Of course, like a cream or liquid highlight is always going to blend into the skin a little bit better and just look a little bit more natural, but I find this is a really close second in terms of appearing natural. So the next two products I have to talk about are actually recommendations from you guys. A couple months ago, I was tweeting about how whenever I wear like tinted moisturizer or one of those types of products, my skin looks like so glowy and pretty and healthy looking, but then as soon as I powder, it's just like so dull and flat and matte, and it instantly makes it look like I'm wearing makeup. But at the same time, you know, I need to powder at least a little bit because I am oilier in my T-zone. So I was asking you guys if you have any recommendations for face powders that aren't going to look powdery and aren't going to make my face look chalky and like I'm wearing makeup. And the number one recommendation was definitely the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This powder is sinfully expensive, of course, because it is Charlotte Tilbury, but it is a beautiful product. I have the shade number 1 Fair. I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 shades available in this. It's just, you know, your standard face powder, but it's just so finely milled and so smooth. It gives like a tiny little bit of coverage, but it's not like a powder foundation by any means. It really just does give an airbrush finish to the skin. It's pricey, but definitely worth the hype if like the appearance of your skin is important to you, which I feel like it's probably important to all of you guys watching. I feel like we all care about how our skin looks, and I got mine on Beautylish, by the way. I'll have it linked down below like everything else once again. But then, to ensure that my makeup is going to look natural and not powdery, I have been using MAC Fix Plus, a classic product, and when you guys recommended this to me, I did go out and buy like a little travel size bottle, and I did like blow through that. I also use it to wet my eyeshadows as well, but so I just finally went ahead and bought the coconut one. You guys know my coconut obsession for the spring and summer months, but you can see it's a pretty new bottle. I first bought a bottle of Fix Plus back when I was probably like 15, and I was just like still super into MAC, and I bought it and I like tried spraying my face with it, and I was like, I don't know what this is supposed to be doing. Like, I really didn't get it at the time. And Fix Plus is more like a finishing spray. It's not really meant to be a setting spray. Where the distinguishing line is, I don't really know. It's not really meant to lock your makeup into place. It's just meant to kind of like hydrate the skin and just like refresh your skin and makeup. I used a bit of it today. I'm still like a little bit iffy about how I like it when I'm wearing like a more full coverage look. I find for me personally, the less makeup I'm wearing on my face, the better it does work. I just realized I used like 3 face mists today. I used the Pixie Glow Mist on like my sponge when I was doing my CC cream. I used this, and then I also used a setting spray. I'm a monster. It's a little bit high maintenance, even for me, I'm not gonna lie. So next we gotta talk about brows. My brows need a little bit of extra help. I do like tinted brow gels, but I do need like a little bit of a pencil to define them as well. So on natural makeup days, you guys know my favorite is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I also love this because I've found that it's extremely waterproof. Like, I wear this when I'm going to the hot springs or going to the lake, and it really does not budge. You guys know I bring a little bit of my eyeshadow primer up into my brows to like really lock them into place, but this stays put totally fine on its own, and it's just like a classic skinny brow pencil with a spoolie on the other end. It's a little bit drier and like less creamy than like the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which is what I typically use, but it's not like too dry like you're like tugging at the skin and like really struggling to get any pigment. It's a really nice balance, but yeah, I do love this for the lasting power in particular. I've also got the WELL.CA Boy Brow. This is just one of those little tinted brow gels with an ultra teeny tiny little wand. Like I said, I do love products like this, and then I just use them with a brow pencil to kind of like define the tail and define kind of like the bottom edge of my brow. The one thing with Boy Brow is I find it doesn't give a ton of hold. Like, it's a very natural, soft kind of hold. I personally like brow gels that feel like I've like ran hairspray through my brows, as long as they don't actually look crunchy or flaky. And this doesn't really do that, but it does just like coat the brows in a really nice way and really fills them in while still looking very natural. This next product is gonna be a controversial one. I know you guys are gonna judge me for this, but just hear me out before you're like, Sari, what the hell is wrong with you? No one likes that product. It's a mascara. When it comes to my light makeup days, I really don't do much on my eyes at all, if anything. Like, at the most, I'll take like a matte transition shade and just pop that in my crease and on my lower lash line so my eyes have a little bit of definition. But a lot of times I'll skip anything on my eyes altogether, like I won't even do mascara. But when I do put on mascara, I really like the Maybelline Great Lash. People literally hate this mascara, and I agree, it does literally nothing. All I'm looking for when I'm putting on this mascara is something that's going to make my lashes black. I'm not looking for length, I'm not looking for volume. I just want my lashes essentially painted black, and this does that for me. And it actually surprisingly holds a curl very well. Now, my eyes get very easily irritated, as you guys know, so I like a mascara that doesn't feel like anything on my lashes. Judge me all you want, but for what I'm looking for on these types of days, this works for me. The only reason I actually have this is because back when I had eyelash extensions and I was still on the fence of whether or not I was like going to like let them all fall out if I was going to keep getting them filled, I googled safe mascaras for lash extensions and this came up, so I bought it just for those like couple days where I had just like a few eyelashes left. And finally we've got lips. Lips are a little bit of an afterthought for me because my lips are very naturally pigmented. I'm definitely someone who can get away with just like, you know, a little bit of clear lip balm, and people will ask me what lipstick I'm wearing and like compliment me on it. So typically I will just put on lip balm, but there is one lip product I wanted to mention, and that is the Tarte Quench Lip Rescue. This is in the shade Buff, and this is like a tinted glossy kind of lip balm product, but this color is like perfect for me. It is like the perfect My Lips But Better. You can see it's like very sheer, but it does have a very nice healthy glossy sheen. These do smell like mint, which I actually hate mint scented lip products, but it's like subtle enough that it doesn't really bother me. But I just love how this looks. It's just one of those products that like perfects my lips and looks completely natural, but like my lips just look 10 times better when I'm wearing it. I have not met a single person who has tried these lip balms from Tarte and not absolutely loved them, so you should check them out if you haven't already. That's where I'm going to be wrapping up today's video, you guys. I feel like I've been talking for 6 million years. I thought this video would be quick, but it's probably going to end up being super long, so thank you if you made it this far. Once again, all of the products I mentioned will be linked in the description box for you guys, and let me know if you do want kind of like a natural makeup day routine to see some of these products in action. And let me know your natural makeup essentials in the comments down below, but give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Go follow me on social media. I'm at SariReanna on Twitter and Instagram, and hit that subscribe button down below if you're new to my channel, but I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye guys!